I rise.
I rise.
I rise.
I rise.
I rise.
I rise because mental health awareness is key in giving voice to those that suffer in silence.
I rise because it's super important to have a voice. I know at the end of the day, I just want you all to understand and to know that you are not alone in this.
This is why I rise, for mental health awareness. I've seen firsthand the impact of ignoring the invisible wounds.
I have been able to seek help when I need it, and I am part of a community that lifts me up and helps me when I need it. But a lot of people are not in that same position, and I think it's time we all rise to be able to get each other through this and to be able to support one another.
I rise because of these guys, because they can't. Here's to give it back to our veteran community. That's why I rise.
This year, I rise for all of our LA County residents.
And I rise for those with bipolar disorder, like myself, and any other mental health diagnoses.
I rise every day because I want to honor my family, my blood family, and my chosen family, and I rise every day to connect them closer together.
I rise because I can, because I know what it feels like to be down and out.
I was diagnosed bipolar when I was 15. I was embarrassed that I had bipolar disorder, and so when I make art, when I rise, I make it for that 15-year-old inside of me.
I rise for my family, friends.
I rise because at the end of the day, my mental health and sense of well-being is all I have. If I can come back to myself, ask for help, use tools, and walk away from shame, I have a chance, and in fact a foundation, to build a wonderful life where I can love myself and be of service to others.
I rise because I am a survivor, and because I am worth it. I rise so that I may help others survive too.
So today, I rise up and join you.
We're in this together. That's why we rise. We all rise together.
We rise for those who need a reminder that they are not alone.
We rise because when others know that they're not alone in their struggle, whether it be a person of color, the LGBTQ community, women,
or anyone with mental illness, they know that there is a community of people out there who understand them, see them, and will help them rise.
Good evening to you all. My name is Christina Pascucci, and I am a reporter and anchor over at KTLA in Los Angeles. And I'm privileged, I'm honored to welcome you to this. It is more important now than ever. And as I'm addressing you here live, I'm coming to you from Santa Monica. My heart is just pounding because if you've been following the news at all today, there are more protests. There's a lot of anger. There's a lot of frustration from people. There were peaceful protests this afternoon, but right now as I speak, a block from me, cars have been set on fire, people are looting, and mayhem is broken out. We're waiting for the National Guard to move in. But if you notice me gone later, that is why, because we've been on notice to maybe evacuate. But it's just a horrifying situation, and I felt compelled to talk to you and address you tonight because it is more important now than ever to focus on our mental health, to find compassion for our fellow human, to understand the perspective one another has, and to listen to one another, and to not stigmatize mental health, to not stigmatize people who have different perspectives than we do. And it is important more than ever to educate ourselves and to seek out resources. So it means the world to us that you are here. It's been really an honor sharing all of this with you all month long. And mental health is something that's personally super important to me. I'm very passionate about it. My sister is who I rise for. So thank you for joining us tonight. We're going to hear from a lot of amazing people and leaders in Los Angeles and beyond. And right now we want to hear from the mental health director for the LA County Department of Mental Health, Director John Sheeran. Let's hear a message from him.
Hey, Los Angeles County, it's John Sheeran, the Director of Mental Health, coming to you from one of my very favorite spots, the back of my pickup truck with a surfboard next to the water. I often surf here, but I won't be surfing today. In the context of our current crisis, mental health could not be more important. There's not a person in our county, or really around the world, that hasn't been affected by the current pandemic. The level of stress, fear, and anxiety is unprecedented. Going forward, we must carefully, constructively, and collaboratively move ourselves, our families, our neighborhoods, our communities, and our county towards recovery. As a part of Mental Health Awareness Month and We Rise, the County of Los Angeles is offering a comprehensive gold standard mental health application available online to anybody who lives in Los Angeles County, called Headspace. For those of you who, like essentially everyone, is having challenges with anxiety, with fear, with depression, working out the challenges of your day, we really encourage you to get online, download the Headspace app, and go through those guided exercises. They will help you with meditation, relaxation, and sleep. In this time of great stress, it's critical that we stay connected using new technology, virtual approaches, and certainly through We Rise, it's our hope that we can facilitate the connectedness of Los Angeles County, and that as we move together through We Rise and through other efforts countywide, we can recover.
We Rise is a project of the Department of Mental Health, made especially and specifically for you.
The Why We Rise campaign and We Rise in May is all about empowerment.
Welcome you to Mental Health Awareness Month.
What will change the game for us ultimately is normalizing the conversation around mental health and mental illness.
We have this huge spot in our heart for empathy, and I think now is the time where we can really put a spotlight on how sensitivity can heal.
So right now, as we arrive into this room together, I want to just invite us all to notice what is it that we're bringing.
Remember to be kind to yourself and love yourselves.
If we just push it aside, then the next day we wake up with those same problems and those feelings.
On behalf of We Rise, I am honored to be here tonight alongside former NBA player Larry Sanders.
The labels, like, that's how we isolate people. That's not healing.
It doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you less bad.
Hey, you know, you're not weak for this, and you're not wrong, and you're not unworthy.
You never reach the top of the stairway jumping from the very bottom to the top. It's literally 1 foot in front of the next.
You are filled with acceptance and love for yourself. You are filled with joy and enthusiasm for your life.
I want everybody to feel welcome, and I want everybody to know that your body is your body and all bodies are dancing bodies. I want you to find your own ritmo. I want you to find your own juiciness. I want you to find groundness on the floor. Quiero que te sientas bien, and I want you to feel the music.
Y exhalando, mano izquierda hacia atrás, brazo derecho hacia arriba.
I started to really take on therapy, meditation, and other holistic approaches.
Take a breath in and out.
Please, everybody stand up and sing along with this amazing artist, Rachel Platten.
Mental health has been a thing that I've struggled with.
I was diagnosed bipolar when I was 15.
It is my duty to share that because I want people to know that they can do this.
I mean, that's why we're here, right? I think that if we can find our purpose in life, you know, it can take us places we never imagined.
So consciously and mindfully staying in touch with my own intuition and with my own higher being.
It's okay to be different. Because guess what? It is okay to be different.
You might be scared, but you're brave too. You know, you're a lot of things, and sometimes you just have to remind yourself that.
Your voice matters, and you matter, and you are enough just as you are.
I think we often feel that we're alone, but that's what this is about. This is about reminding each other that we're not alone.
One power, one unity. We rise, I rise, we rise, I rise, we rise together.
Thank you, We Rise, for doing this every year.
It is just inspiring to spend our time with you this evening.
You are amazing, and I love you. Thank you.
Well, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.
Peace and love.
Remember to take care of yourself and each other.
We can end the stigma associated with mental health conditions.
And to anyone at home that is struggling with mental health, know that you are not alone at all.
It has been beautiful to see the evolution of the conversation surrounding mental health, because even just hearing from all those young people you just heard from who are encouraging people to embrace being different, embrace being themselves. That was something that we weren't taught even when I was a little girl. So progress is being made, and with your help, we are going forward full force. And like I said, our youth is so important. 2 years ago, I was asked to participate in the event for the overall Why We Rise campaign. It was created by the LA County Department of Mental Health to empower youth to take action for themselves, their friends, and their local community. And it really became the centerpiece around this May movement, and arts were so important. Headspace, like you saw, meditation, so important, flow, moving your body, changing your physiology can make such a big difference. And that's part of what we've seen this month. Let's hear from some other major leaders from across the country and hear what they have to say.
Congressman Patrick Kennedy, COVID-19 has taught us many things over this last few months, and one of them is the power of human resiliency. Through connection and community, we can support our own mental health and the mental health of our friends and loved ones. Now more than ever, we must continue to lift each other up and celebrate our own individuality and spread the message of hope along the way. Let's keep this momentum of We Rise going strong. Each and every one of you has the power to change our national conversation around mental health. Not just during the month of May, but throughout the year. We can persevere. We can heal. We can come together to build a lasting mental health movement that finally unites the body and mind in healthcare. Everyone living with the uncertainties right now can understand one thing, and that is together we can rise and move recovery forward for all if we keep connecting and know that each of us is valued. Thank you very much.
Buenos días, yo soy Hilda Solís, supervisora del Condado de Los Ángeles. Yo me levanto porque nuestras comunidades son fuertes. En estos tiempos críticos, hablar con nuestros seres queridos nos da paz. Por eso es importante pedir ayuda cuando es necesario. La comunicación nos da esperanza. Recuerdan, juntos nos levantamos para triunfar. Gracias. Good morning, buenos días. I'm Hilda L. Solis, Chair Pro Tem, Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors, and I rise because I believe our communities are strong and resilient. In uncertain times, it's important to stay connected with family and loved ones. That's what I do. Staying connected keeps my mind and soul healthy. Our lives have changed abruptly, which is why it's so important to take care of our mental health. It's okay to ask for help. In fact, it's a sign of courage and strength. I know many of us who come from Latino families have difficulty opening up about our mental health. I'm here to say don't lose hope and speak up. There are many people willing to support you. So remember, together, we rise. Thank you. Gracias.
So cool to see strong, powerful voices like Patrick Kennedy's and also Supervisor Solis. Our deepest gratitude for you for sharing those messages. And we've been thrilled to have support from leaders from all over the country, forces in the community, but it is our generation of tomorrow that is really going to push the torch forward. And we want to hear from them now and what they have to say. Listen.
I used to drag my eyelids between classes and conversations. I once forgot my feet in the sci-fi section of the library. I lost myself too many times this year. So today I'm hanging my sadness like a thrift store shirt. The blue hues will wash away with winter. and the yellows will yawn into the seams. I am turning happiness into a color that looks good on me. In the living room, I watch dust evaporate. Spring is no longer a season of sorrow. Summer becomes a sanctuary to sew myself together. Challenges come like common cold. I still have to take care of myself. So I thank my body for surviving, thriving off the art projects I've picked up and left and picked up again. There are no sorries in this body. I am synonymous to strength, to sunflower, to slowly healing.
I learned in biology that the reason we need water is to wash away the excess minerals, the stuff that's left when everything good for you is gone. This means we are overdue. Our system's to be flushed. Our current remedy has been good head and a blood, but that can only bandage so much. You need to cry now. You need to talk now. Tight-lipped on the way to the function. Your homies know something's eating you, but they don't say nothing. They know you wouldn't answer anyway. They all got something to say. Please, cry now. I only ask because I think it will help. Your homies ain't homies until they feel what you've been through. Hear you verbalize your trauma. Hear you rename thug life as trauma. To all the friends who've seen me cry and never lost respect for me, you can and have done the same.
Because dear OCD, it's confining when I see my door shut and have to feel it to make sure it's not lying. I try to connect with people, whereas you lock me up to bemoan alone in my mind like Alcatraz, always trying to find something wrong. A prison examiner when the prisoners are gone. You take precision to new levels. You killed the angel on my left shoulder and left me with two devils. I want to rip my fingers off one by one until I go numb and use the blood to paint a picture and use my ears to hear its whispers when I'm a builder building constructions of destruction. Give me fins and I will swim to the darkest part of the ocean so the pressure outside my head can equal what I feel within. As darkness sets, I am but a helpless marionette.
I don't look like the girl who used to live in that high school bedroom anymore. That never talks in class discussions girl, always thinks of others' opinions before her own girl. So scared, always played safe girl. Yes, that girl is a ghost I will still love, but never let haunt me. Not anymore. Because she filled herself up with apologies instead of confidence, branded her tongue in burnout and thought a higher test score meant that she was worth more. I am home again, spending spring in quarantine, but now I know I am enough to bloom all year round. I am grounded in grit, forged in forgiveness. I will write myself into the worlds I've always felt left out of. And yes, some days I feel myself slipping into 17, the high school me. But Los Angeles loved me so a boy didn't have to, and now I am August dressed in angel, lilac laced in angst, there's sugar in my strength, so bring me a cup of coffee. And I'll tell you all my self-healing secrets, like
all I ever wanted was a family, but mine fought over food. And it's a dog-eat-dog world, so I left for the final feast. Ran from my mother, killed me to feed our own ego, but when will it start to feel as if I've survived, and less like loose prey? How do I go about living when I'm hounded by the memories? Can I heal when I'm still getting fresh gashes from the escape? The past still tagged around my neck, addressed to all the cages I've left. I hear talk of safe spaces, but nowhere feels like a sanctuary. So, if anything, I am mad. Pissed even. Built with a be on guard complex, cause you can't teach an old dog new tricks, so I'll never learn how to feel safe. I can't sit if I constantly have to stand my ground. I can't fetch anything if I haven't eaten. I won't beg if I can get it myself. I don't wish to have been bred a different breed. Call me a mean mutt, blame it on my nature, my upbringing, my habitat, my face even. Just don't bother me.
You know what I see when I watch those videos? Despite hearing a helicopter hover above outside my home or the recent violence we've had in the city of Los Angeles, there is so much good. And there are so many amazing stories to be told and reasons to have hope. And you just saw a few of the faces that represent why. Thank you all for sharing that. Maintaining one's own mental health is challenging during any time, let alone when you have an unprecedented pandemic at your doorstep that you're just getting over. And then on top of that, you have all this unrest across the country. And then you have a mental health condition on top of it. So what do you do? How does the city of Los Angeles try to help those individuals? And what is the response? Let's hear from a few prominent individuals and hear what they have to say about taking that challenge on, and also how you try to address it during the COVID-19 crisis.
I never really know what to say in videos like this, but I'll just share a little bit about myself and my story. I basically hit a rock bottom in January of 2019, diagnosed with clinical depression and OCD. Finally started dealing with it. It was something that was getting worse and worse for me for a long time before then, and just put me in an extreme hole where I spent a month unable to live my life at all, unable to make music, fell out of love with it. Got to the point where I couldn't get out of bed. I was upset, I was crying, constantly looking for reassurance about my obsessions, journaling, like just really couldn't live my life at all. And I eventually made a decision, thanks to the people around me, which is honestly the reason why I rise, is because the people around me, you know, rose to the occasion and really helped me, you know, convinced me, you know, whether it's my family or friends, convinced me to go find the right therapist, to consider seeing a psychiatrist, because there's a lot of stigma still with like medication. And as I started to get better and get to a more stable place, I recognized that I want to be able to do that not only for myself and my own stability, because everybody deserves happiness and stability and to be able to live the best version of their life they can, but it's honestly can be so easy to help others just by sharing your story and by, you know, yourself getting better. Healing yourself will heal others as well. So yeah, that's why I rise.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Sisto, and I know firsthand how difficult struggling with mental health can be. Mental illness is the only kind of illness that disguises itself as your thoughts. When you're battling it, it doesn't feel like an illness. It feels like who you are, whether it comes in the form of negative thoughts and feelings about yourself or about the world around you. Figuring out how to distance yourself from these thoughts and feelings can be a lifelong journey. But there are a lot of us on that journey, and I take solace in knowing that some of the coolest, most inspiring people that have ever lived have had those very same struggles. Now, this pandemic, self-quarantining, has removed a lot of tools that many of us have relied on to help us along the way, and it has added tremendous financial burdens to so many, as well as adding a whole plethora of new fears about the future, so not fun. But at least those of us who have struggled with mental health, we are no strangers to difficult times. We have gotten through them before, and we will again. Hope can seem like a distant friend, but if we dig deep, we know it's still there, even when we have trouble feeling it. Sending love, and another reminder that we are all in this together. Be kind to yourself, and take care of yourself. And be kind and take care of each other. Thank you.
We're all collectively in a moment that's going to be, you know, pretty traumatic.
Again, we're all experiencing something very challenging, tremendously difficult. If you already have pre-existing trauma, it can activate that trauma.
We have to recognize that the stress, the fear, the anxiety, the trauma is more broad-based than ever.
We can feel a little lost of like what to do or where to go, and with things the way they are, we don't know what to plan for sometimes.
My system for managing my mental health was completely uprooted with quarantine.
What's been probably most difficult for people in the midst of this pandemic, it's meeting themselves for the first time. It's having to spend time with themselves without distraction, without stimulating yourself, you know?
I don't know about you, but there are some days when I wake up in this kind of quarantine, weird world we're in, and I am really able to focus and get things done. And then there are other days when it's just hard.
So I was in my bed for probably 20 hours a day for 3 weeks. Yeah, it got really dark.
You know, really learn how to channel the anxiety and use it. Don't like suppress it and try to ignore it.
Routine sort of reinforces. It's like, you know, a little bit of meditation, a little bit of workout. I make sure that I'm staying in gratitude.
There's so much uncertainty, fear, and anxiety, and it's okay to feel that. But let that fear and anger spark passions in you that you never knew you had, and channel those negative emotions into doing something positive.
Your body is surviving this. That's its only job. So don't be mad if it doesn't look the way that you idealize it to look.
Sometimes it's okay not to feel every single second with something that is like progressing us. Sometimes it's okay to play video games and go brain dead for like an hour because we need a reset.
Being able to give myself pats on the back when, okay, I got up, I meal prep, I ate.
Like using this time as permission to honor yourself, and that gets to look really different every day.
Research has shown these little things that we can do in our routine, what a huge impact they can have.
I think that's something to do during quarantine, is do something every single day that makes you proud of yourself.
Texting a friend saying, hey, do you want to call? Hey, do you want to get on Netflix and watch a movie at the same time?
Making sure, you know, like I'm bringing myself to the table and I'm being a blessing to them.
It's the little things that really remind you that there are people out there. You have a support system, even though they're not with you physically.
The beauty, if I can say, of the situation is that we are shining a light on mental health, and it is the first time people are really considering like what mental health is.
This is a time when we need to stick together. This is a time when mental illness is probably at an all-time high.
We are all in this together, and you are not alone.
Amazing humans, you are still here. Amazing humans, you are never ever truly alone.
So let's stick in it. Let's stick through these tough times. Share your information. If you're dealing with something, talk about it, speak up. We might be physically apart, but we're all together as one.
I rise because May is Mental Health Month. With over 10 million people living in Los Angeles County, the effects of COVID-19 have impacted us all. You are not in this alone. It's important for you to reconnect with your family and friends and to recognize that it's okay to ask for help. We Rise highlights the need to break the stigma and to educate people about the effects of mental health and the support services that are available. This year we're doing it virtually, but make no mistake, the impact is going to be the same. As a community, we are going to get through this together. The Department of Mental Health has put together an incredible team to support each and every person that reaches out for help. Please, if you know of somebody or if you are feeling depressed, anxiety, unsure of what the future brings, reach out to the Department of Mental Health. We are here to help you, we're here to support you, and I want you to know that I rise with you to make sure that we come out of COVID-19 stronger, healthier, both physically and mentally. Again, we are in this together.
And you know what? I love what they all said, but it's also okay to feel a little crazy sometimes and to embrace that. I had a moment like that last week. I was feeling nuts. Everything was going wrong. The darkness was creeping in. And I remember telling my partner, I'm feeling nuts right now. And he looks at me and is like, you're feeling crazy? And he goes, bah! And he just yelled. And then we started laughing. It's like you have to have people around you who are not going to judge you and support you, will support you and the lows and remind you of your light because it is there and you are worthy. And we're really grateful for you to be here right now. We hear so many inspiring stories. And I think another big part of this is to find the helpers. I remember Mr. Rogers saying this, and it really stuck with me, that when you look out and about in society, remember the helpers. When you see the heavy news, look for the helpers, the heroes. And that is how we get through this. Want to thank the first responders, the healthcare workers, the police officers, the firefighters who are out there tonight, and the people who've been on the front lines during the COVID-19 pandemic. We love you. We are with you. Thank you so much. We also need to remember that while times are really tough, art and music can really help us get through that. As I mentioned earlier, it can truly change your physiology. I cannot think right now of a more appropriate Los Angeles band to demonstrate that than the iconic group Ozomatli to bring us home. Guys, take it away.
Ozomatli, this is Asdru. What's up? I want you to know that you're not alone out there, LA, and we will get through this together. You're not alone. Here's another song that we're gonna put out there for y'all, using a little bit of music to soothe your soul. Cuando canto.
Cuando canto mi canción, quiero inspirar mi gente con una solución. Cuando despierto en la mañana, sé que tengo el poder para nadie a trompar. Ey, 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 ey. La, 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 ey, ey, ey. La, 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 la. Cuando
Hi, I'm Asdru from Ozomatli, here to rise to celebrate May Mental Health Awareness Month. So happy to be a part of this. I rise for myself and others to make a difference by using our voice. One thing that's really important is that you know that you're not alone. You are not alone. Everything that's going on is hard on all of us. Some of us deal with all sorts of challenges, mental, emotional, and myself included. This is hard. But the important thing is to know that you're not alone. You're not alone. So, with that said, I'm going to use my voice to help you with some music. Here's our song, Cumbia de los Muertos.
As sure as your heart muscle rest in your chest cavity, we ask God to bless these festivities. Yet this hostility felt between you and me stops opportunity given to spread unity. Tonally, rhythmically, wiping sadness clear. Breaking on your mixtures, create this atmosphere. People packing chairs simply cause these songs show death. Giving shouts to these victims of wrongful death. Now, soon as we're rid of society's small terrors, the sooner these teenagers don't have to be pallbearers and carry their pals nearer to graves. Premature the cure, be mature by keeping your hearts pure.
That was so good. Nothing like music to help elevate your mood, get you out of the funk you're in. Thank you to Ozomatli for bringing that to us and for being such a strong voice in the fight for awareness surrounding mental health. We're sorry we didn't see you in person, but next time we sure as heck will. And thank you so much for joining us. You are part of the movement. We should have not only mental health awareness in May, but every month. And by talking about it, by sharing your story, by reaching out for help, it's not even just about you and helping yourself, but you're being part of the movement. You're raising awareness by doing that. You're letting other people know your struggles, and you never know who might empathize and actually be going through the same exact thing. So keep it up. We are just praying for you, and we hope that everyone hangs in there during these crazy, unprecedented, wacko times, but there are resources to help, and We Rise is there for you. Thank you. Stay safe. Until next time.